Welcome back to the channel, Classic Volkswagen Lovers Junior with a classic VW Bucks and now Frankenstein. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you how I tackle and approach the repair of the two rust spot holes that I had in my front apron and how I got to this final product. There was a big hole right here and there was a big rust spot right here. So let's go ahead and watch the video. Thanks for watching. Please watch till the end. I was able to remove this fender. You can see the amount of undercoating that it's there. I'm going to clean this rust area right here. I'm going to fabricate this piece here and this piece right here. And perhaps maybe a strip that goes from here up. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and wire brush all of that. I'm not going to record that just to make these videos short. You don't need to watch me doing wire brushing. Once I have cleaned it and prepped the pieces, I'll show you how I did the pieces for here and share with you the end result of that. I also have to finish sanding this here. So I'm going to share with you my approach on how I patch this top portion right up here. If you look up here, I had a very similar hole up here like the one that you see down here, which, you know, had a lot of rust in it. I wire wheeled it, I took all of the rust out. And the way that I approached it, I got a piece of thin sheet metal. I tacked it on top right here first, as you can see here. And then I took my little hammer right here and I bent it down until it actually formed this edge here. So I'm actually going to do the same down here at the bottom. So basically, and this is just for an example right here, you take a piece of metal like this. First you have to make sure you shape it to the surface you're going to be tacking it. And then in this particular case right here, you could either do two pieces, like one up to here and then a small piece up to here, or you can try and see if you're successful at doing it. Tack a piece right here, leave an overhang like to the side, like right up here. Let's see if I can put this right here. Well, so maybe you can leave a like an overhang, meaning a small piece hanging this way here, and then take your sheet metal scissors and then do some release cuts so that when you bend it, it won't wrinkle in the edge. So that's how I approached it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do mine. Okay, so then what I do next, when I stitch weld it, so what I do, I'll take my die grinder, and then you can see that I tacked it right there. So I'll start cutting that right there, and then cutting it right here, and cutting it right here and here, and then I'll go in the back and peel off that small section of metal from the car. That's how I do it. So basically, when you overlap a piece of metal like this, then you go on the edge and you cut that so you can get rid of that rust spot right there. That's how I do it. to do next is take these here. I do sort of like a cut like that. Just like that. And a slight cut right here. Like that. So then I'll take this here. That's pretty much my approach right there. Then I'll just cut through the edge of the metal right there, and then butt weld it, but in a stitch. I'll do a stitch welding, and then I'll come back and grind it, and then we'll just put a little bit of mud on it, and she should be good. That's my approach. If I was not doing this car on a budget, I would definitely replace this whole thing here, but you know, I'm having fun as I go with this, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick with this technique that I'm actually using and see how it goes. Okay, so I have a couple of blow-throughs from last night, not having good vision, so I'm going to try to feel those up, and then I'll come back and regrind over those. I just put a little cut where I'm going to be stitch welding it. So I want to try to use low heat today, and see how that goes. Sometimes you gotta play with it. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, so apply some filler. I started with a very thin layer. I went back and sanded. Then I apply a second coat of filler, again a thin one. I block sanded, and now I apply a small amount of the glaze putty. I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry for 30 minutes or maybe 40 minutes because it's cold, and then I'm gonna come back again with a 220 sand paper and sand it. And then once that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and spray some filler primer over it, and later on I'll go back to it and wet sand it. As you can see, I have relocated Frankie from the garage into the shed here in the back, and I'm going to be working on the car here from now on. What I got left to do in the front apron for now, it's sand this glaze putty that I applied here, and once I get that done, I'm going to spray some filler primer that later on I will wet sand, and I'm going to leave it right there and call it a day. I don't want to make the video too long, and it is already a little too long than what I anticipated. I'm going to be time-lapsing the part where I'm going to be block sanding this here with my mouse block, and after that I'll spray that filler and leave it right there. Okay folks, so that pretty much completes the patching process for this side of the front apron, and every day I can see areas where I can improve, but every day I get better at it. Remember, I am not a auto body technician. I can fabricate pretty good, but applying filler is not something that I could say is my forte. I have actually started to learn this process using Frankenstein as a trial and error project, and it's turning out to be pretty good. So if this is the first time that you're watching my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, this is Junior with a classic VW Buck, and now Frankie time. Farewell.